Hello, welcome to Expert Technologies. In this session, we are going to be talk about the profiles, permission sets, OWD, sharing rules, and everything we'll talk about in this section. So I just log into Salesforce. So let me go to the app. Let us log into our app, RD app. Now here, let's go to the setup. What do you mean by profile? Profile is nothing but set of access. Profile is nothing but set of access, which defines who is going to have which kind of access. So we'll have by default set of profile. So let me go to the profile. When I click on profile, it will take me to the profile. So we can assign this profile to the users so that they can get the respective access. So we'll be focusing on the profile here, which has a license type called Salesforce. Here we can see a lot of profiles, right? But we'll be focusing on the profile which has a license type called Salesforce. Now, if you open this, for example, this standard user profile. So now the profile contain all this information. So it will contain the profile name and the license type, when it is created, whether it is a custom profile, and when it is modified. And the page layout access for all the standard object access, custom object layouts, field dependencies, field level security, both on standard object as well as custom objects, app settings, both standard app access, custom app access we can control. Then tab settings, record type settings, and then we have administrative permissions, general admin permissions, object permissions, and custom object permissions, standard object permissions, session settings, password policies, login hours restrictions, login IP range, enable Apex class access, Visual Force pages, all these things. Okay, all these things we'll call it as a profile. So profile contains all of this. Now let's see how we can create a profile. So once we create a profile, we'll assign to the user so that the user can have the set of access. Now just click on the profile, new profile. See, it's not allowing me to create from the scratch. Why? Because just now we have seen, so profile has a lot of options, right? So those options we cannot define on our own. So that's why Salesforce suggests us, if you want to create a profile, just clone the existing profile. So what I will do, I'll clone the profile which has a license type called Salesforce. See the license type called Salesforce, right? So I'll just clone the profile. I'll give this profile name as Apex Sales Team, then save. Now what I will do, since I created the profile, this profile let's assign to the user. So we can assign from here. We can go to the users from here also we can assign, or else just go to the user. I'll just go to the user. So now let us assign to the user. So I'll just go to the users. So what we do, we have created an Alexa, right? So let's assign to Alexa. I'll just open the Alexa, edit. So just select the user license as, sorry, profile as Apex Sales Team. Save. So now what we'll do, as an admin, we'll go to this profile. Okay, we'll try to change the access and we'll try to check whether Alexa is getting an access or not, right? So now what I'll do, I'll go and log into Alexa. So since I have only one user, I'm trying to open in a different window, private window, and here I'm trying to give the login.salesforce.com and give the Alexa user ID. Okay, and then password I'm just giving. I'm trying to log in. Okay, but whereas if you have multiple users, then what? Okay, so for that I'll show you. Now it's asking verification code. Let me go and check. Now we got the verification code. Just copy this one, 77480. So let me paste here, 77480. So since only one user, I am trying to log in this way. But if you have multiple users, then how we can be? So if you have multiple users, what we do? So we'll go to the users in the setup. Okay, we have something called login access policies. Login access policies. Let's just go here, login access policies, and from here, so select administrator can log into any of the user, then save. administrator can log into any of the user, save. So now what will happen if you select this option, and when you go to the user, if I go to the user, so here click on the users. Okay, now you see beside the username, we got login button, right? So like this also we can log into directly to the users. Since we have only one user, I just trying to log in a different browser. Now I just log in here. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll go and check perform the activity. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll go to the Apex sales team, the profile as an admin. So in this profile, I'll try to edit the access and give the access to this profile. So it has been assigned to Alexa. Then I'll go to the Alexa and I will check whether the Alexa is getting an access or not. Okay, so what we did, we opened the private browser. In that we log in as an Alexa, and as an admin, we'll go and check the access. We'll try to modify the access in the profile, and we'll come back to Alexa and we'll check whether Alexa is getting an access or not. So now go back to profile. I just edit the profile which has been assigned to Alexa. Now edit the access. Click on edit. First I will go with the app access. So if you see here, Alexa has all the app access, right? So what I will do, I'll remove everything. I'll remove everything. Just uncheck, 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 just uncheck, just uncheck everything, right? And then just uncheck everything, and then I made only RD as a default app and remove everything, then save. So what we did, we given Alexa to only the custom app access, right? So just go back to the app. So here just refresh, and let's try to see whether Alexa is getting an access or not. See, now Alexa got only RD sales app access, right? Only RD sales app access Alexa got. So Alexa didn't get other app access, correct? So now this how a particular user we can give the app access. Now next we'll give the object access. Now let's go back to Alexa. See, Alexa has only the standard object access, right? Alexa has only standard object access. So we have to give the custom object access. Let's see how we can give. Now I'm giving the custom object access. I just edit the profile. So scroll down, scroll down. See, all the standard object access, custom object access, Alexa don't have any access. Now let's give the object access. So object access means create, read, edit, delete. You can see here create, read, edit, delete. Now I'll give the all the app access, all the access, like Alexa can create the record, Alexa can edit the record, delete the record. So all access I given, all type access I given. Okay, Alexa has read access, create access, edit access, delete access, all the access I given, then save. So now let's go back to the Alexa login and try to check whether Alexa is getting access or not. So I just came here. Let's just refresh. Now see, Alexa got all the object access, correct? Alexa got all the object access. Now in the employee, for example, now Alexa can read the record, right? Alexa can read the record, right? Alexa can see the record. Alexa can create the record, and Alexa can edit the record. Alexa can delete the record. So we have given all the access. We have given all the access, correct? So now let's go back and check other access. So now I'm giving other object, other access. So even though Alexa has all the object access on the app level, but I want to restrict on the tab level. Okay, object level Alexa has full access, but I want to restrict the Alexa on the tab level. So just edit the profile. Okay, so when the Alexa is trying to have an access on the app level, only the particular tab I want to give, not all the custom object. So I don't want to give the tab hidden. Okay, off, make it off. Okay, it is on only, default off, off. Off. Now just go back and save, and let's go to the Alexa and check. I just came to Alexa, just refresh. See, other object access got removed. Only Alexa is able to see the employee object access. What we did on the tab level, we default off, we made off. Even though Alexa has an object access, but on the tab level, Alexa cannot see the other object access. Now in this how we can give the tab access. And the next we'll talk about, the next portion will talk about the, in the object itself, we don't want to give Alexa to be create the record, edit the record, only view the record, only view the record. So let's see how we can do. So just go back to the object. So I just came to the object level. So here we want to give only read, create, let's say, and no edit, no delete, only read and create. Read the record, create the records, save. Now go back to Alexa login and let's check. Let's go back to Alexa login and just check, just refresh. Now I'm in Alexa login. So I'll just try to check whether the Alexa is getting the access or not. Okay. So I'll just click new to create the record. See, now Alexa can create the record, right? And let's try to select this. No actions are available, right? No actions. No means no edit, no delete. Only create the record. Only create. Alexa can only create the record, not other actions. Alexa cannot be performed. Okay. So now this how we can restrict the object level. So what action that you on the create, CRED, create means create, read, edit, delete. Whatever the options that you want to give, we can give. So now what we'll do, even though let's give on the object level Alexa full access. I just want to give the full access on the object level, but I want to restrict the Alexa on the tab on the, when the Alexa is trying to create a record, I don't want to allow Alexa to be enter the value in the particular field called salary. What do you mean by, for example, I just came here. So when the Alexa is trying to create a record, so I don't want to allow Alexa to be, I don't want to allow Alexa to be enter the value in the field called salary. And at the time of edit the record also, I don't want to allow to edit the salary field. Only particular field we don't want to give Alexa to be edit. Only read access we want to give. Let's see how we can do this. I just came back here. So don't edit the profile. Just scroll down. So there is an option called field level security. Okay. So here just go to the field level security. On the particular object, click view. So now here you can see. So just edit this. See, there is a read access, edit access, right? So just try to give only read access. So just remove the edit access salary part. I just edit the salary part access, then save. So now just go back to Alexa account and try to see. Just go back to Alexa account. Now I'm in Alexa and just refresh and try to check whether the Alexa is getting the access or not, whatever the access that we modified. Just refresh. I just refreshed multiple times. Refresh. So now just click new. It's not came. Just log out and log in. Sometime it will not affect immediately. Just log out and log in. I just log out and I'll try to log in. I'm just trying to log into Alexa. Now let's check whether the Alexa is getting the particular one access or not. I'll just say remind me later. Now go here, go to the employee tab, click new. See, the salary part we cannot edit, right? The salary part we cannot edit, we cannot enter anything. At the same time, when we try to see the record, when we try to see the other records, see, we cannot edit this record. I cannot edit, I cannot delete, right? I cannot edit. Sorry, when I edit, okay. So I don't want to edit the salary portion. See, I don't want to edit. That's what I'm trying to see. Okay. So when you edit a particular record, when you edit the particular record, so we cannot edit the other options. Only we can edit the other fields, but salary portion we cannot edit. So this how field level access we can give any field, any object, any field. Now let's go back to profile and let's see what are the other options that we can talk here. So I just came to the back to profile. So now we'll give the object page layout access. On employee only we'll try to give just view the access, view assignment. So by default, Apex sales team is by default employee layout access, right? Just edit. Now go to the here. So when you click new on Alexa, see now Alexa got only by default employee layout access, right? So I want to give to other layout. Select the Apex sales profile and select the I want to give non-sales. Okay, save. Now go to the profile. Now go to Alexa login. Just refresh Alexa login. Just refresh. Just refresh. I'll just refresh. Now click new. It's not came. Better log out and log in. I'll just log out. I'll try to give the access. Now try to check whether the Alexa is getting that layout access or not. And just click remind me later. Go to employee tab. Click new. See non-sales ones, right? By default it came non-sales one. Okay. So this how on a particular object for a particular user we can give whichever page load access we can give. Okay. Let's just go back to the profile again. Just set up. See when you click on the profile page layout, it will take you to the particular object page layout. Okay. So now I'll just click on Apex sales team profile. So we have seen till now page layout access, right? Field level access we have seen, app level we have seen, tab level we have seen, and now we'll talk about the record type. So just edit the record type access on employee tab. Just edit. Now by default employee don't have any, master only have. I'll add the custom one. I'll add. So once we add the custom one, by default master one will get removed. Either you can give the standard one or else custom record types. Now just go back to Alexa and just refresh. Now let's see whether Alexa got the record type access or not. And just refresh. So we given both, right? So see now it got both. It's not came. A better logout and login. So sometime as I mentioned, it will not affect the access immediately. Okay. So now we'll try to log in. I'll just say admin 1 2 3 4. Now let's see whether Alexa is getting an access or not. Or remind me later. Go to the employee tab. Click new. See, Alexa got both the record type access, right? So this how we can give a record type access for the particular user. Now go back to profile. So now we'll remove the record type access. We don't want to give the record type access. Let's remove the record type access. Just edit. So I'll just remove both, remove, and then save. So it says that at least one record type must be selected. One record type must be selected. It means that we cannot remove everything. We cannot remove everything. Okay. So what we do, at least we have to add the master default one also should be added. I just added master, save. Now just go back and check. Now just let's see whether Alexa removed the everything, only master by default one came or not. And just refresh, click new. So better log out and log in. So now let's see Alexa is getting the access or not. The record type access. Go to the employee tab, click new. See all the access got right. Alexa got the master record type access, right? So this how whichever record type access we want to give, we can give. So we have seen profile, record type. These are not needed. Next, talk about the object also we have seen. Session settings, password policies and all. I'll just edit the profile. So session setting means we have a default profiles 24 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. It means that so the user has been logged into Salesforce account and he is not doing anything from past 15 minutes. What will do? System will, if I keep the 15 minutes, so system will check for every 15 minutes. If it means it will check. So if more than 15 minutes, if the user is not doing anything, the session will log out. So this parameter, whether the user want to go with 8 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, it depends upon the customer. So whichever time that they want to give, we can give. So generally we'll go with the 30 minutes or 1 hour. So system will look for the ideal time. If the user has been logged into Salesforce and is not doing for 30 minutes, then his session will log out. If you want to work again, he has to log in again. Okay. So it's all about depends upon. However, whatever the time frame that we want to keep, we can keep. Okay. Next, password policies. Password policies means so we have some sort of password policies. So user password expires in. So we have the password time frame. Let's say the user password can change in every 30 minutes. We can keep 30 minutes means what will happen? The user has been using the password. Let's say today he log in, so it wait for 30 minutes. When the 31st day when the 31st day when the user is trying to when the user is trying to log in, it says please reset your password. So this parameter depends upon the companies. Okay, whether they want to go with the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So whatever the time frame that we keep, so till that after that next day system will ask reset the password. Okay. Next, we have something called password history. So system can remember a user's password up to 24. Okay, so up to 24 passwords system can be remember. So we can say no password remember also. Generally we'll go with the 3. So what will happen if I keep 3? So when the user is trying to change the password, system will look for his old history, how many old passwords that he has been kept. It will check for last 3 passwords. If the new password whatever he is trying to keep, if it is matching, it says that you cannot reuse your old password. Please try to give the new one. Okay. And then password length we can keep at 8, and maximum how much you want to keep you can keep. And the password complexity, it should be alphanumeric, alphanumeric special characters, number uppercase lowercase, number uppercase lowercase special characters, must include 3 of the following: number, uppercase, lowercase, and special characters. So whatever the combination that they are interested, we can go with this. Next, password question requirement. So when system is asking give the security question, it should not include the password. Okay, it should be a different one. Next, maximum invalid login attempt. So this we have seen in the user administration. So system can allow to the user, so maximum how many times that he can give the wrong password, and then what is ideal time if the user has been logged, and what is the ideal time. So these are the two parameters. So we can give 3 times, and the ideal time is 15 minutes. What happened? So every 3 minutes, every three failure attempts, the fourth time when the user is trying to log, system will lock his account, and it says wait for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, his account will get reset. Or else if you don't want to wait, he can call to admin, admin can reset. So these parameters completely depends upon the customer to customer, whichever they preferred. Okay. Next, we have something called login hours restriction and login IP range restrictions. Means, so when the user is trying to log into Salesforce, so system will look for the login hours. Means whether the user is trying to enter the right use hours, or he is giving some any means, let's say if I keep the none to none, means any time the user can have an access to Salesforce platform. Anytime he can access. Okay. And if I keep some specific time, let's say morning 9 a.m. to evening 9 a.m. to evening 6 p.m. Apart from that time, if the user is trying to log into Salesforce, system will not allow them to log in. So this how we can restrict the user logins by setting up the login hours, business hours. Next, we have something called IP range restrictions. IP range restrictions means, so when the user is trying to log into Salesforce, okay, and let's say he's not logging within the IP range, he's logging with a different IP range, so that time system will not allow them to log in. Okay, so how we can find which IP address that he's using? Just go to the command prompt and you can say ip config, then enter. It shows the current IP address of that user, so that IP, it should match with this IP range, then only system will allow them to log in. Otherwise it says we cannot log in. So then if it really need to log in, then we have to talk to the network team. The network team will give us a green signal, say yes, you can add that IP to the system, then we'll add in the profile, then the user can have an access to this system. Okay, so this how we can allow the users to have an access to Salesforce system by setting up the IP range and login hours. Next, we have something called login enable Apex class access, Visual Force access. So sometimes the developer might design some changes in the Apex class and Visual Force. So that time he will ask us to give the Apex class and Visual Force page access to the user. So same Apex class, Visual Force, same way we can give an access. Just we have to go here and select whatever the Apex class that you want to give an access, select, add, and then save, and then the respect to whatever the class that he has given modified to the user, he will get the changes. Okay, and same way Visual Force also we can give the same way. Okay, since we don't have anything here, I'm just trying to show you, but in if he asks the list, in the list it shows whatever he is expecting to add, select and add, then save, so the respective user will get the particular access. So this how we are talking about the profiles. So now we are done with the profiles, we'll move into another concept. So now we'll talk about the permission set. What exactly is a permission set? Permission set. So permission set is nothing but, let's say you have a scenario. We have two users, user A and user B. So both having same profile access. But now we want to give some additional access to that user A. So what we know, we go to the profile and we'll edit the profile we'll give. So if I edit the profile, what will happen? Since both the users have the same access, the other person also will get the access. But I don't want to do that. Okay. So we got a scenario saying that, so one profile which has been shared with multiple users. So without disturbing that profile, if to the users, if you want to give some additional access, we'll go with the permission set. So permission set, just click new. So we have default permission set. So what is a user access means? A user access means profile plus permission set, n number of permission set plus profile is defined the user access. Permission set is nothing but both the users having same access, profile access, but among them, if you want to give some additional access to the another user, you can go with the permission set. Now just click new. So here it shows us the give the name. I'll just give the name called test and then leave as it is, then save. So in the permission set, what are the access that we can give means, okay. So we can give the accesses, app related, object related, all the type of we can give. So now just once you create it, just go to the assign app. So let's assign some of the access to this permission set. edit. Now I want to give the access. Let's say I want to give an access apart from these two app access I want to give, and then save. Select and save. The same way, what object access that you want to give. So if you see here, assigned apps, you can give objects and other accesses. I'll go to the object settings. Then it shows the list of objects are available. From there, whatever the access that you want to give. Let's say accounts, I just select the accounts and then go to the edit. So now on the object we know, right? So what access that we can give. So we have here the access is called, you can give the read access, create access, edit access, delete access. I'll select everything. I'll give full all access. I'll just give in all the access. Then save. Now just save. So this how to the permission set we can add profiles, we can add the apps, objects, whichever we want. Then this permission set I want to assign to users. Then go to the manage assignment. From here also you can assign, or else go to the user. Go to the user. From here also we can assign. Just go to the users. I just go to the user. So open the user. Then edit the user. So here, so not edit, sorry. Scroll down, you have permission set assignment, edit assignment. So now in the list it shows whatever we create the permission set. Select the test one, add. Now what happened? The user has an access, the profile whichever we have been assigned, plus this permission set also he got an access. Okay. So this how we can create the permission set and we can assign. Now next move into sharing settings. Sharing settings. Sharing setting means on the particular object who can have what kind of access. Okay, so we can have a private, public, public read only, public read and write transfer. So private means if I keep any of the object in a private mode, so whoever has been created the records, they can only set their records. Not other persons cannot see other records. Only individual can see their records. Next, public read and write means anyone can read the records whoever has been created. So on the particular object anyone can have the read access, edit access. Next, public read only means only they can read the access, they cannot edit the record. Okay, they cannot edit anything on the record. Okay, so this how the settings will be. So if you got a scenario saying that I don't want to allow the users to see their individual records, whoever has been created the records, they only then see the record, means just keep in a private mode. Okay, then save. It will get affected, so that the people who has been created their records, they only can see their record. Private means they only can see the record. It takes some time to affect it. Okay, you will get an email also after change it, you will get an email on your email, whatever the email has been associated to this admin account, saying that your settings has been changed. Okay, so if you got a scenario saying that we don't want to allow the users to be see each other records, they want to see their own records, we can keep in a private. If they want to see each other, you can go with a public read only. And if they want to see each other and do any modification, means public read and write. So what you have to do, just go to the edit option on whichever object they are expecting, so select that particular object and what exactly they are looking, so that you can select. Okay, public read and write. Public full access means they can do anything. So this how we can do the, or we can talk about organization wide settings. We'll call it as a sharing settings. Now we have something called, okay, sharing rules. Sharing rules. Okay, sharing rules are nothing but, so let's say we got a scenario. Okay, we want to share the records which has been owned by someone and we have to share with others. So we can share the records with a record, we can share on record owner base or criteria base also. So I'll give the for example test, and then you want to share the records owner wise. So the record which has been owned by, I want to share with some other roles. For example, let's say we take a scenario saying that, so sales manager, whoever having access to records, those they want to share with the directors. Okay, so I'll select the rule owner base, saying that the record which has been with a owner called, with a role owner called sales executive. Okay, then I want to share, okay, share with the, I want to share with the, for example, group, I want to share with the all internal groups, or I will go with the role, then I will share with the for example, director or COO, or any cross other teams. Okay, means if you got a scenario saying that the records who has been owned by those records, if you want to share with other persons, so first you have to define the rule saying that the records which owned by with this role, I am willing to share with the other roles. Okay, you can go with it, or else you can go with the criteria base. The criteria means, let's say the records which is coming from the city, let's say the records which are coming from the city which equals to Hyderabad, let's say the records which has been created on the region Hyderabad. Okay, share these records with the respective sales executive. Okay, sales executive save. So what you want to do, you want to give a read only, or you want to allow him to read and write. What you want to do, you want to give only read only, or you want to go with a read and write option. So whichever option that we given, so the person get the access. Okay, so the records we can share with the owner base, means whoever own the record, from their, okay, you can select the owner, then to whom you want to share, there also you can select, then you can go with the criteria base also. So whichever you want, let's say read and write, transfer, then save. Now what will happen on this lead? Okay, so whatever the records that has been created which has been equal to Hyderabad, those records also can have an access by sales executives. Okay, with the role sales executive. So this role to whom we have been assigned, those everyone will get this lead record access which is equal to Hyderabad. So this how you can go with the criteria base, or you can go with the, you can go with the owner base. Okay, so whichever we want, we'll get a clear cut instructions, we'll get the clear cut like what do you call requirement. Okay, so records can be shared. Okay, record sharing, we can share the records owner base or criteria base. Okay, so that's what about sharing rules. So on whichever object you want to define, so here they have been defined, on which you can define the sharing rules, on those objects only you can define. Okay, so on employee also you can define. So create a new sharing role. Okay, and you can go with the criteria, for example, the criteria you can go with the roles. Okay, the role apex. Okay, sales, whichever. Okay, or criteria base wise you want to share with the designations which is equal to. Okay, and then select the lookup, whichever designations. Okay, so these records you want to share with some other person with this criteria, select. Okay, I want to share these records with criteria, with to whom you want to share, with whom groups, you have created any groups or all internal users you want to share. Okay, what they want to do, they want to give only read and write, only read only. So this how we can share the records in between the people, defining the sharing rules, both criteria base, owner base. Okay, so with this we are done with the security, we are done with the profile and sharing rules, sharing settings, and then OWD means organization wide defaults, that is nothing but sharing settings only. And then we talk about the permission sets. Okay, so just focus on the permission set and OWD, sharing settings, sharing rules, and the profile. So we'll get in a question saying that what do you mean by a user access? So how you can define a user access means, a user access will define through his whatever the access that he has. How we can define means, a user access means profile plus permission sets. How many permission sets that we can assign to a user? N number of permission set we can assign. Profile plus permission set 1, permission to 2, permission 3, N number of thing we can assign to the user. Okay, so with this we are done with our security. Thank you. So previously we have talked about the users, roles, and then profile we talk, and the sharing rules, sharing settings, would organization wide defaults, and the permission sets. So with this we are done with our security. Thank you.